Welcome to Smashville. This is PK Subban.
I'm Dan Hamhuis.
This is Craig Smith.
This is Mike Fisher.
But you need to dig in right now, every guy.
Everybody loves their soldiers until they come home and stop fighting.
Enough is enough.
They need me to bleed, and I'll bleed for my team.
Start playing with some jam in here. Let's go.
This is Ryan Johansson. Welcome to Smashville.
This is Philip Forsberg.
I'm Victor Arvidsson.
I'm Ryan Ellis.
I'm Matthias Ekholm.
I'm Beckerin, and you're listening to the Renegades of Puck with Crazy Charlie.
Crazy Charlie puts words in my mouth. You can't trust that guy.
If you can't get some fire, some passion, some energy, and figure out how in the hell to talk about this magnificent sport of hockey that has taken over the city of Nashville, then why are you on the radio? You don't deserve it, and you should do the honorable thing and turn your mic in. You're making a damn fool of yourself.
This is my declaration. I'm coming after every single one of you. The lazy, the tired, the boring voices out there. Your time is up. I'm Crazy Charlie Saunier.
I'm Pete Weber of the Nashville Predators.
I'm Roman Yossi of the Nashville Predators.
I'm Colton Sissons of the Nashville Predators.
I'm Eustace of the Nashville Predators. You're listening to the Renegades of Puck with Crazy Charlie.
Find a way, boys. No more half-stepping.
Now, here's your host and captain, Crazy Charlie Saunier.
Welcome to the bunker. Welcome to the Renegades of Puck podcast. I'm your host and captain, Crazy Charlie Saunier. Before we get started with the no half-step in hockey coverage, first, let me direct you to our home website, renegadesofpuck.com. Once you go to renegadesofpuck.com, you'll learn everything you need to know about the show, and once you're good and educated about the show, that's when you click on that merchandise tab. Take you straight to our classic logo tee and all the gimmicks you've come to know and love and expect from the Renegades of Puck. Whether that's socks, throw pillows, wall art, bed sets, it makes no difference to us. The easiest way to say it is that we've sold out so that you can buy in. Social media is of critical importance to this independent, unaffiliated operation known as the Renegades Puck, so here's how you can jump in the trenches with us. You can find us on Instagram, Threads, and Facebook. It doesn't cost you a thing, and it certainly doesn't take you much time, but it goes a long way to helping the Renegades of Puck out there in the hockey universe. So again, stick taps, love, and respect. YouTube, that's where you can find all of our content right now. So if you would please subscribe to our channel, turn on the notifications, and pass those links around to the Renegades in your life to help us build up our YouTube following. It has been great to add several new followers recently. Stick taps, love, and respect to each and every one of you for checking out what we're doing over here. If you'd like to support the show financially, you certainly can do so. You can go to Venmo and you can search Renegades of Puck, or you can scan the QR code that is over there on the corner of the desk or right over there. It's all over the place. That is our virtual tip jar over there on the corner of the desk. So if we come up with something good during the show and you want to throw us a couple of dollars, please send it our way. We exist and we function on donations from the audience to keep ourselves in business. And we picked up a huge piece of the new set today. I'll reveal some pictures on social media coming up in the next day or two, but it is going to be a very awesome thing. All right, listen, I know it's time for No Half Step in Hockey coverage, so let me deliver the goods. It's time for operation number 973. That's right. Time for show number 973. And at this moment in hockey history, the Nashville Predators currently find themselves in 7th place in the Central Division. After 61 games skated, they have a record of 22-32-7. 51 points has them well in a complete wasteland all by themselves. On home ice, which is where their next game will take place against the Seattle Kraken, the Predators have a record this season of 15-12-3. They've scored 159 goals this season. They've given up 204 goals against. It's a goal differential of minus 45. Now, let's update you on the Central Division. Then we'll take you through the Predators week ahead, the season series, what the Kraken have been up to, the in-game rankings, and the statistics for each of these teams coming up here, all in this first segment, Central Division standings update. The Winnipeg Jets find themselves in first place in the Central with 88 points, but their lead has narrowed just a little bit since the last update. The Dallas Stars find themselves at 82 points, just 6 points behind, and have played one less game. The Minnesota Wild are in third place with 76 points. The Colorado Avalanche in fourth place, just on the outside outside looking in with 74 points, but well alive in the wild card situation. The St. Louis Blues are in 5th place and 64 points, just on the edge of the wild card right there. The Utah Hockey Club are in 6th place at 63 points. Then you'll find the Nashville Predators at 51, and the Chicago Blackhawks in last place at 45 points. The Predators week ahead after this game against the Seattle Kraken. Saturday, the Preds will host the Chicago Blackhawks, and then Tuesday, the beginning of a 3-game road trip in San Jose. Then Friday in Anaheim, Saturday in LA, back home against the St. Louis Blues on the 18th of March. For the Predators and the Seattle Kraken, this is the third of 3 regular season meetings between these two Western Conference rivals. On the 15th of October, they met for the first time, and the Seattle Kraken scored a 7-3 victory at Bridgestone Arena. UC Saros took the loss, going 28 out of 34. McCarron, Novak, Shea picked up goals for the Predators. DeCord went 30 out of 33 and picked up the win for Seattle, and the Kraken had 7 different goal scorers in that game. They'd meet again on November the 20th in Seattle this time. Result would be the same, but the Kraken would win 3-0 this time. Saros, 34 out of 36, taking the loss to Cord, 24 saves for the shutout. Cord, Sprong, and Montour with the goals for the Seattle Kraken. So the Predators, 0-2 on the season, have not picked up a single point and have been outscored 10-3 by the Seattle Kraken. Now, the Seattle Kraken, 26-32-4 is their regular season record. That's 56 points. That's 7th in the Pacific Division, so a mirror of the Predators in the Central in 7th place. 12-17-0 on the road is their record. 183 on the goals for, 202 on the goals against. That's a goal differential of minus 19. And their most recent stretch of 5 completed games go back to February the 22nd, a 2-1 win of the Florida Panthers, and on the 23rd, the next night, a 4-1 loss to the Tampa Bay Lightning. On the 25th of February, a 7-2 loss at St. Louis. On the 1st of March, a 6-3 win versus Vancouver. And on the 4th of March, a 4-3 loss versus Minnesota. That was their most recent game. DeCord taking a loss, going 16 out of 20. Taking a look inside the NHL rankings and matchup for the Predators and the Seattle Kraken. In the goals for category, the Predators at 2.59 per game is 31st in the league, just one spot from the bottom. The Seattle Kraken are at 2.94 per game. That is 16th, right there in the middle of the pack. In the goals against category, 3.21 for Seattle is 24th, but the Predators worse in this metric at 3.34, and they are 28th in the league. In the shots on goal category, the Predators impressive, 29.7, maintain the 6th overall spot in the league. Seattle Kraken generating 27 shots on goal per game. That is 28th in the NHL. The shots against category, the Predators are 29.4 per game, 25th. Seattle 28.7, that is 19th. When it comes to the special team scenarios, the Predators ahead in both of these metrics. On the power play, 20% conversion rate is 21st rated in the NHL, 34 conversions on 170 opportunities. For the Seattle Kraken, 18.5% conversion rate is 26th in the league, 31 conversions on 168 power play opportunities. The penalty kill for the Predators is an 81% kill rate. That's 11th best in the league, 35 power play goals against on the season. Seattle 75.9% kill rate is 23rd. They have given up 33 power play goals against on the season. When it comes to the individual statistics for each of these teams, we always go through the top 5 scorers, then we'll talk about the potential goaltending matchup. Let's talk about the home team Nashville Predators first here. Forsberg, 22 goals and 33 assists for 55 points, a little bit of a bump in the numbers after the road trip. Everybody's seeing at least a little bit of a bump after that Boston game. Marchessault is at 19 goals, 27 assists, 46 points. O'Reilly is at 16 and 23 for 39. The captain, Roman Josi, still out injured at 9 goals, 29 assists, 38 points. Steven Stamkos actually sees some movement in his numbers, 18 goals, 18 assists now, 36 points on the season. Over on the Seattle Kraken side of the ledger, McCann's at 15 goals and 29 assists for 44 total points. Stevenson is at 10 goals and 31 assists for 41 points. Schwartz at 19 and 19 for 38. Bjorkstrand just traded to the Tampa Bay Lightning for a plethora of draft picks, a couple of first-round picks. That just breaking as we were walking out to record this episode. So Bjorkstrand is been traded to the Tampa Bay Lightning. He was 4th on the team in scoring 16 goals, 21 assists for 37 points. Wright at 14 and 23 also has 37 points. In net, our anticipated goaltending matchup sees Joey Decord versus UC Saros for the third time this season. Decord getting the best of Saros 2 times already. Decord 2-0 against the Predators overall in the season, 21, 16, and 3, a 2.60 goals against, a 9.12 save percentage with 1 shutout. UC Saros 0-2 against Seattle on the season, 14, 25, and 6 on the year, 2.96 goals against, 8.98 save percentage with 4 shutouts. That's got you all set for the Nashville Predators' final regular season meeting against the Seattle Kraken. In the standings, the two teams are comparable, so we should have a good competitive hockey game in front of us. The Predators back at Bridgestone Arena, where they actually do play much better hockey than anywhere else. That's going to do it for the preview portion of things. Let's talk about the Rebirth Sports full game recap. That's what's coming up next. We got to go back to Boston and see what the Predators did in the third game of that road trip.
Hockey players are as unique as the game itself, and your uniform should be tailored to fit you. Rebirth Sports is your sports apparel tailor. From shells, bags, warm-ups, hats, hoodies, branding, and more, let Rebirth Sports be your custom hockey tailor.
And don't forget to tell them they do more than just hockey.
Rebirth Sports on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Rebirth Sport, a match made in hockey.
It's now time for the Rebirth Sports full game recap. We go all the way back to March the 4th, the year 2025, when the Nashville Predators were in Boston to face off against the Bruins. Head coach Andrew Burnett deploys his lines and defensive pairings in the following way: Stamkos, O'Reilly, Evangelista, Forsberg, Novak, Marchessault, Smith, Svechkov, and Sissons, Jankowski, McCarron, and Bellows, Shea and Blankenberg, Del Gaizo and Shen, Englund and Stastny. UC Saros gets the start in net. We are 31 seconds into the first period, where we find the first bit of action. It's Swayman coming in with a save on Svechkov. That's the first shot on goal of the game. The 128 mark of the first period sees Swayman coming up with another save on Steven Stamkos. At 4:25 of the first period, the Boston Bruins break through, and Coyle scores his 15th goal of the season. A turnover by the Preds D leads to an easy finish for the Bruins. We've got a 1-0 game, but just 1 minute later at 5:32 of the first period, Tommy Novak is going to tie the game at 1 apiece with his 13th goal of the season. It was Marchessault forcing the turnover and the slot finish from Tommy Novak. 6:20 now of the first period in a tie game at 1-1. Swayman comes up with a save on Jankowski. 7:35 of the first, Swayman comes up with a save on Stamkos. 10:05, just past the halfway point of the period, Swayman comes up with a save on Englund. And at the 11:53 mark of the first period, O'Reilly puts his 15th goal of the season in to give the Nashville Predators a 2-1 lead here in the first period. 12:50 of the first period, it's Bellows off the box. 2 minutes for tripping. Predators' outstanding penalty kill. Do not give up a single shot on goal against. 16:56 mark. Back to 5-on-5 hockey, and it's Swayman coming with a save on Forsberg in 18:25. Saros a save on Brazo, and that's the end of the first period. Some good high activity. The Nashville Predators leading 2-1 and out shooting the Boston Bruins 15-5. We go to the clean sheet of the second period. We find ourselves at 2:07 of the period, and Saros coming up with a save on Merkulov at 5:08 of the second period. It's Osterley with his first goal of the season, tying the game up at 2 apiece for the Boston Bruins. The Predators respond quickly again. 6:25 of the second, Stamkos with his 18th goal of the season, a one-timer from the left circle off of O'Reilly's feed from all the way over on the other half wall. The Nashville Predators reclaim their 1-goal lead, now lead the Bruins 3-2. 9:12 of the second period, Swayman coming with a save on Del Gaizo. 10:34, just past the halfway point of the game now. Swayman another save on Forsberg. 14:55, Saros a save on Koepka. 16:21 of the second period, Stamkos comes up with a penalty, 2 minutes for hooking. Swayman would come up with a save on Jankowski in the shorthand scoring opportunity. The Predators would not give up a single shot on goal against for the second time in this game. The Bruins could not generate anything against the Predators' penalty kill, an outstanding penalty kill. 18:49 of the second, Stastny hits the crossbar for the Predators. 19:24 of the second, Swayman comes up with a save on Smith. We hit the intermission after 2 periods, and the Nashville Predators are leading 3-2 and out shooting the Boston Bruins 24-13. Speaking of the third period, the Bruins seem to have renewed effort out there on the rink over the first couple of minutes. The Bruins start to tilt the ice, and they find themselves on the score sheet at 5:35 in the third period. Geeky puts his 20th of the season in. Saros and the D just overwhelmed 3 scoring opportunities for the Bruins, where Saros was down and out, and the Bruins finally cash in on the third one, and that makes it 3-3, 8:28. The Predators respond yet again in this game. Marchessault with his 19th goal of the season. Forsberg to McCarron to Marchessault on the weak side for the finish. The Predators take a 4-3 lead. Yes, Michael McCarron out there with Forsberg and Marchessault, and honestly getting the job done as a pivot, making one hell of a pass. We go to the 9:31 mark of the third period. That's where O'Reilly picks up his 16th goal of the season. Aerial deflection of Stamkos' sauce pass. This was world-class hockey all the way around, and a highlight reel goal pass, everything for the Nashville Predators. They now take a 5-3 lead in this game in the third period. We flip over to the backside of the machine. We find ourselves picking up the action. 11:21 of the third period. When UC Saros comes with a save on Kapka. 12:09 of the third period. Saros a save on Pasternak's deflection. 14:23. Saros another save on Pasternak. The 16-minute mark, even Swayman a save on Evangelista. 16:31, Saros a save on Coyle. And at 17:52, Jankowski with the empty net goal, his 4th of the season, gives the Nashville Predators a 6-3 lead. And that would be your final in this game. So the Nashville Predators go into Boston and come away with the victory over the Bruins, punching back all night long. They outshoot the Bruins by a total of 30-24 in this game. They go 1 out of 3 on the road trip, but they do at least close strong, picking up 2 points against the Boston Bruins and sweeping the regular season series against the Boston Bruins. For a Predator season that hasn't had a whole lot to shine the spotlight on of positivity, sweeping anybody is certainly going to be considered a positive. So defeating the Boston Bruins in 2 games this season is impressive. And for the Nashville Predators, that could cost the Bruins a spot in the Eastern Conference wild card. So the Predators playing spoiler over on the other side of the conference. That's going to do it for the Real Sports Full Game Recap. We've got analysis, box score, and so much more. A lot of numbers to cover. Coming up next on Renegades of Puck Podcast.
Hello, hello, hello. I'm Tracy, owner-operator of Strong Style Fitness. And that's me and my training assistant, Rizzo. And we are here to bring you fitness that meets you where you are by offering circuit classes, bar-inspired classes, Tabata workouts, boot camps, guided stretching, and more, all taught by a certified personal trainer, me. To learn more, go to our website, strongstylefit.com. Subscribe on YouTube at Strong Style Fitness. Follow on social media at Strong Style Fit. But most importantly, let's get you moving. It doesn't matter if it's your first workout or you've been doing it for years. Strong Style Fitness has the workout that meets you on your journey and helps you along the path to a happier, healthier life. I understand where you've been, what you were going through, and where you were going, and I want to take you there. We'll see you on the mat. Mwah.
Welcome back in. That was the Rebirth Sports Full Game Recap. Now it is time for some analysis. Then we'll go through the box score and we'll close out operation number 973 and get you all set for the Nashville Predators coming on back home to face off against the Seattle Kraken. UC Saros got the start in this game. 18 out of 21 is his stat line. Not perfect, but good enough to pick up a victory. Only his 14th victory of the season. The rest of the numbers not looking so good either. But again, not the heaviest workload, not the best goaltending performance, but it was enough to win, and the Predators' offense, for once, was able to overcome whatever deficiencies were happening in net behind them. So, Saros, not perfect, good enough. O'Reilly, though, fantastic. When he is out there playing against good, tough, hard-nosed teams, he just is the best in the trenches. O'Reilly in this game, 2 goals plus assists for 3 total points, 2 shots on goal, 2 block shots, 17-23 in total time on ice. And again, if the Nashville Predators are going to hang on to him after the trade deadline, I think that's fantastic because he is teaching everyone else around him how to play the game at a much higher compete level. If the Predators do move Ryan O'Reilly before the trade deadline to perhaps a competing team looking to win a Stanley Cup this year, he should bring a significant return in prospects and draft picks to this Nashville Predators team. O'Reilly is a player I have grown to really appreciate since he has been a Nashville Predator. Steven Stamkos off the milk carton and onto the score sheet. He picks up a goal. He picks up 2 assists, 3 points total, plus 4 shots on goal. And that looked like the Steven Stamkos we know. The big one-timer right there. That sauce pass to O'Reilly right there at the top of the blue paint. Impressive stuff. Great to see Steven Stamkos getting back onto the score sheet after being in a drought like he had never seen in his career. So again, when the big name players step up and perform, that's when the Nashville Predators find themselves successful. Marchessault picks up a goal in this game, and he was a difference maker against the Boston Bruins all the way through. Jankowski, it was an empty net goal, but I wanted to make sure he got some credit and some respect back into the lineup and working hard out there for the Nashville Predators team. A little bit more balance to the lineup with some injured players getting back in. Luke Evangelista, 2 assists in this game, and I felt that he was extremely aggressive in this game on the puck, and that is fantastic news. That is the next step in the evolution of Luke Evangelista. Now that he is an everyday NHL player, he needs to take that next step in his evolution in the offensive side of things. He is developing at a good pace in the NHL, and I think that Luke Evangelista hopefully is going to have a strong final 20 games of the season. But his 2 assists in this game and his aggressiveness on the puck, he's been highly noticeable. He's been generating shots on goal since coming back from his most recent stint of missing some games. So it's good to see Luke Evangelista competing at a very high level. That'll do it for the analysis portion of things. We got to hear from our good friends Stripe Digital Solutions, and then we'll come back. We'll get in the good, cold, hard numbers known as the box score right here on the Renegades of Puck podcast.
The digital environment can be quite intimidating, time-consuming, and cumbersome, especially with all those other areas that need attention at your business, and that's why Stripe Digital Solutions is here to help. I know because that's exactly what Stripe Digital Solutions did for me and the Renegades of Puck. From designing my home website and helping me create my merchandise to special event posters, brand building, and social media management. But it's not just that, it's so much more. Stripe Digital Solutions has helped me every step of the way. From startup to full-time operation, Stripe Digital Solutions has been there to assist and advise every single step of the journey. In today's fast-paced world, the path to success is having a strong digital partner, and nobody is better in the trenches than Brandy and Stripe Digital Solutions. Get the solution before it's even a problem with Stripe Digital Solutions.
Welcome back in. Let's talk about the box score, the good, cold, hard numbers. Your goal scorers for the Nashville Predators. Ryan O'Reilly leads the way with 2. Jankowski had 1. Marchessault had 1. Novak had 1. Steven Stamkos had 1. When it comes to the assists, Luke Evangelista had 2. Steven Stamkos also had 2 in this game. Then Colton Sissons, Ryan O'Reilly, Michael McCarron, and Philip Forsberg all with assists. And that assist by Michael McCarron, that was some sweet hands right there down around the net to help the tic-tac-toe to the weak side go. For the Nashville Predators, if you notice something in the goals and the assist category right there, out of all the names I mentioned, none of them on the defense. Nobody on the defense picking up a point in this game. That is highly unusual when a team scores 6 points. For the shots on goal category, Steven Stamkos had 4 to lead the Nashville Predators. Mark Jankowski with 3, and Spencer Stastny also had 3 shots on goal. When it comes to block shots, 2 was the high number. That was Englund, Delgaiso, and O'Reilly. When it comes to the physical component of things, when it comes to hits, Luke Schenn led the way with 4, as he has been doing ever since Luzon went out of the lineup. Cole Smith with 2, Colton Sissons also with 2 hits in this game. Time on ice leaders, and I think you're going to notice something here pretty dramatically and quickly. A very well-balanced lineup and attack of all 4 lines in this game, and you can see the evidence here with time on ice leader of the forwards, Ryan O'Reilly at 17:23, Steven Stamkos at 16:33, and Cole Smith at 15:45. On the defensive side of things, a little bit of a different story. 24-20 for Brady Shea, 22-17 for Blankenberg, 20-31 for Mark Delgaiso. No power play time for the Nashville Predators. They did not have a single power play in this game. They were shorthanded twice. The shorthanded time on ice leaders are 218 for Colton Sissons, 151 for Mark Jankowski, 249 249 for Brady Shea and 245 for Nick Blankenberg. UC Saros gets a start on this one. He goes 18 out of 21, gives up 3 goals against. That's an in-game save percentage of .857 with an 18 even strength save, no power play saves, no shorthanded saves. So right here, you can see what I mean by not perfect, but good enough to get a win for the Nashville Predators. Other numbers falling out of the box score. Mentioned the power play. The Predators didn't have a single one of them in this game. On the penalty kill, they were perfect. Not only perfect by way of 2 for 2, but did not give up a single shot on goal against on the power play. That's impressive against a team like the Boston Bruins. Face-off winning percentage, 45.3%. 16 hits, 14 block shots, 6 takeaways, and 15 giveaways for the Nashville Predators. That's going to do it. Let's close this episode out. The Predators go 1-2 on the road trip. Absolutely abysmal against the Islanders. A little bit better, but they got shut out against the Rangers, so it's really hard to say they were actually a little bit better. And at least they closed the third game of the road trip in Boston, which is never an easy place to go play strong. They go 1-2 on the road trip, but they do go 2-0 against Boston Bruins on the season. And again, for a team like the Nashville Predators that only has 22 victories on the year, they only have 7 road victories to sweep a season series against anybody, even if it's 2-game series against the Bruins in the Eastern Conference. It's still something to applaud. It's something to spotlight. And for the Nashville Predators, good job going into Boston and turning around what was a very, very bad road trip and picking up 2 points and picking up a victory again against the Bruins and getting a lot of the big names back on the sheet. Seeing Stamkos on the score sheet for the first time in a long time. Good news for the Nashville Predators. Coming home, Seattle Kraken. Hopefully they can continue that momentum moving forward. As we head towards the trade deadline this Friday, we'll continue monitoring and talking about it right here. Again, the Seattle Kraken making a big trade as we were coming into the bunker to record this episode, sending Bjorkstrand to Tampa Bay. I'm sure that was probably just the first of a number of trades happening this afternoon. So again, we will keep talking about it, and I'm sure the Nashville Predators will be involved in a lot of these different stories are coming out, especially in the rumor mill. So we'll be here to discuss. That's going to do it for Operation number 973. I sure do appreciate your viewership, appreciate your time. Most importantly, I appreciate each and every one of you. I'm your host and Captain Crazy Charlie Saunier. Stick taps, love, and respect.